Hi, this is Seraph GL with That Which Matters Most with Seraph GL. And this is brought to you by the1questionsurvey.com. THE, the number one, the word question, the word survey.com. The1questionsurvey.com. Urgent poll. Is it possible to earn up to $14,444 per day just sending a quick email to people who visit this simple website? Cast your vote to see if real people think this is actually possible. Again, That Which Matters Most with Seraph GL is brought to you by the1questionsurvey.com and is always imparting peace. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are at whatever time it is on this blue planet. I am Seraph GL, and this is That Which Matters Most.
I protect that which matters most.
Today I want to talk about music and how music is so important and so relevant to the world. This is probably why a lot of the powers that be are doing everything they can to take music out of the hands of children. Music, going all the way back to some of the first humans hitting on rocks and making noises. Music has had the ability to change perspective, change attitude, change mood, change the world. Music is the soundtrack of all existence. And I know people who've told me that my music and my performances have changed their lives. And that doesn't make me special. It's just the way it is as a musician. There's nothing really special about any human, which makes us all special. But there's certain vocations, certain things that people do that affect people differently. Do musicians cure cancer? Sometimes. Is that our job? No. Do musicians start wars? Sometimes. Is that our job? No. Do musicians end wars? Sometimes. Is that our job? No. Our job is to entertain you. And while entertaining you, sometimes we slip stuff in there that changes who you are. It changes the fabric of your being. It changes your DNA almost. That's what musicians do. Sometimes we do it consciously, most times we do it unconsciously. Most times when we try to effect change, our music comes off hokey and corny because we're trying. And music is not something you try. You're either doing it or you're not. I know for me, I've been fortunate to have had a pretty decent music career. Storied music career. I've had some experiences that are precious as silver and gold. But with that said, it's really not my doing. I know that sounds weird, but let me give you an example. Sometimes when I'm writing a song, I will start out thinking one particular thing, and by the end of the day, or by the end of the hour, or in the next 15 minutes, I've written this epic song. Which means to me that that music is not coming from me, it's coming through me. That's important to me. And when I come back, I'm going to explain to you why music is being forced out of schools, why it should make its way back into schools, and if it doesn't, you need to homeschool your children.
Hi, this is Seraph GL with That Which Matters Most with Seraph GL. And this is brought to you by the1questionsurvey.com. THE, the number one, the word question, the word survey.com. The1questionsurvey.com. Urgent poll. Is it possible to earn up to $14,444 per day just sending a quick email to people who visit this simple website? Cast your vote to see if real people think this is actually possible. Again, That Which Matters Most with Seraph GL is brought to you by the1questionsurvey.com and is always imparting peace.
Okay, I'm back. Why was music taken out of schools for the most part? They say it was a budget thing, but no, it's not budget. It's not budget at all. Is because the public schools indoctrination system was created to create good workers. Good workers are very left-brained. Good workers start and finish on time and under budget. Musicians are very right-brained. Right-brained people, synapses fire differently. We're very in our head. We're thinking of new ways to do things, new ways to experience life. And that's not what the industrial world wants. They want people to twist the thing and turn the knob and stand in line and do the thing and get up, go to work, and come home and start all over again. And don't think too much because then you start thinking about the world. We don't want you thinking about the world. We want you thinking about your paycheck, which is why money is still in effect. Money is not in effect because we need it. Money is still in effect because it keeps you on the treadmill. Think about it, folks. Now I'm going to break something down here. I want you to be ready. Before I go, let me give you a sponsor because I still need to get some currency every now and then. Here's the sponsor. My sponsor, one of my sponsors, is a very lucrative business, and they teach you how to make money online in business. Very simple, but you gotta have a little bit of a right brain in order to understand it up front. Because most people are so left brain trained that the first thing out of their mouths is always, it's too good to be true. Or, you can't make $1,000 a day. Or, let me tell you something, folks. Do you think I'm sitting here because somebody's taking care of me? Do you think I'm able to stay home all day because I'm being kept? I would love to be one of those who must be kept. But no. Yeah, that's a Anne Rice reference if you're a vampire freak like me. But anyway, no. I make money while I sit and do this. I make money in my sleep. I make money 24 hours a day, 365 days a year. If you're not making money in your sleep, you're going to die working. So enough about that. Music. Another thing that my lifestyle has afforded me is the ability to play music when I feel like it. I used to work because I needed the jobs, which meant I worked a lot more than I needed to for a lot less money. There are people here in the Twin Cities, this so-called music mecca, that are still making that same $100 a night for the last 25 years. Who has a job making the same money for the last 25 years and are able to maintain their lifestyle? No. It's because I make my money at home. So when I decide to play, somebody calls me and I think it's cool, I'll do the gig. I'm in a band right now. Brown Mark and the Bad Boys of Paisley. Who is Brown Mark? Brown Mark is the bass player with the Revolution, all the way with Prince in the Revolution, going all the way back to Dirty Mind album. He's the bass player with Prince and the Revolution on Purple Rain. You saw him on the Purple Rain tour. You saw him with Prince accepting the Grammys and the American Music Awards and all that stuff. Yeah, him. He's been touring with the Revolution since Prince passed away. He and I are in a band together. If that band goes nowhere, I'm not going to cry 1 second. I'm going to say I had a great time. We made a lot of great music. We had fun. But I'm not doing a $100 gig. I don't give a shit who you are. I toured with Prince. At the time, I needed that check, which is why I took a lot of crap from Prince to get that check. Prince and I became friends, and that's cool to the degree that you can be a friend of Prince's. But because he and I didn't want anything from him. I wasn't looking for a job from Prince. I wasn't trying to get him to make me a star. He and I became really close friends. Close as you can get to Prince, I guess. Plus, he had a respect level for me that I think had a lot to do with the fact that some of the things we did were peers. Like I have a Grammy. So does Prince. Right? I start my own bands. So does Prince. I don't ask him for anything. He didn't ask me for anything. So it was a good situation. But one of the things we both had in common was the ability to turn nothing into something, to turn a thought into music that you can actually give to someone else. That's a talent. I'm not blowing my own horn here. I'm just saying, as musicians, we have that ability. The creative force, which is why most musicians, whether they're male or female, have a very good balance between male and female energy. Not talking from a gender perspective, but just the essence of feminine energy, masculine energy. You have to have an abundance of feminine energy in order to create. It's part of the right brain experience. Don't get hooked into nonsense, folks. Stay on task. As a musician, I've learned a lot about the world. And how am I able to say that? Because I've been around the world. If you spent your entire life, now this is not saying anything bad about the cities or the states that I'm talking about, but if you spent your entire life in Jackson, Mississippi, or Mobile, Alabama, or Chattanooga, Tennessee, or the Brooklyn area or borough of New York, or Manhattan in New York, or Los Angeles, California, or Paris, France. If you spent your whole life in that one place, you have a very limited scope of what the world is about. That's why a lot of the old jazz musicians who all pretty much have passed away, and the blues musicians who all pretty much have passed away, were able to have such broad minds because they traveled, they saw things, and they didn't let what goes on in the media, especially social media, because they didn't exist then, but they didn't let the media tell them how they are to perceive people. So they didn't have those preconceived notions. Just because Muddy Waters came out of Roland, forget the name of the town he's from. But anyway, just because he came from that town doesn't mean he believes that all Europeans were the same. Because he came across the Europeans who fell in love with him, who loved everything about him, who didn't call him a nigger. right? I've got musician friends who grew up in the worst parts of cities who are Europeans, and they don't view all of us the same. No, they can't because they grew up with us. They know the difference. See, music has the ability to teach when you're not trying to learn. Music has the ability to foster goodwill when you're trying to be evil. If you're trying to be evil and you want to stay evil, you can listen to music that comes off as evil. But even then, it's still music. Just like people try to blame music for why kids are in gangs. No, kids are in gangs because they're fucked up. And they use music to help them keep moving through that gang. But even then, it's still music. It's a tool. It's a tool of expression. And we use it as such. And I don't know one musician. It might be some out there now, but I know for me, we did not become musicians because we were trying to get rich. No, no. And I've made a substantial amount of money as a musician. But I didn't get into this to get rich. I got into this to get girls. I sang one time in church when I was like 6 or 7. And everybody was smiling and everything. I haven't stopped. When the lights come on, I'm on. G sharp in the house. If I get up in the middle of the night and open the refrigerator, I'm going to do 5 minutes of something because the light's on me. That's just the way it is. So understand that music has that power. And that power is substantive. It is that which matters most. Which is why I'm talking about it. This is the 13th episode of the first season of That Which Matters Most with Seraph GL. I'm going to take a break after this episode for about 2-3 weeks, collapse my thinking cap for a little bit, and take care of some business. Then I'll be back. In the meantime, go to thatwhich mattersmost.me. That's my blog. Go to my Facebook channel, my page, if you will, facebook.com/thatwhichmattersmost. And go to my YouTube channel where my vlog is. Just look up That Which Matters Most. I've got a lot of stuff there. Catch up with me. Because going into this next month, I'm going to start bringing it harder than ever. And I want you to be there and I want you to be ready. Because I don't just talk about anything. Even though I do talk about the profane as well as the profound. Everything from sex to religion to politics to money and business. That which matters most. At least to me. So, until we meet again, put some music in your life. I don't care what kind it is. It doesn't matter to me. I like what I like. You like what you like. It's all good. You dig? So with that said, I'm going to get out of here. And thank you. And as always in parting, peace.
I protect that which matters most.